Hi, everybody. I am Mary Perry.
Hi, everybody. I am David Zen. And we are...
And if you haven't guessed, we are completely wheels off the bus, unscripted this morning, as always. Dave, how's it going today out in the kingdom over there?
Good. Happy Veterans Day.
Yes, absolutely. What a great thing to honor everyone who served, right?
Yes.
So good. Thank you all so much.
Are you a veteran?
I am not.
Okay.
I am not.
Neither am I.
Nope. My dad was, but...
Your dad was?
My dad was, yep. He was in the Navy in Korea. He's a medical doctor in the Navy. You have a joke about that?
There's a possibility, you know.
All right, I'll throw out the softball. What's your joke?
You know, I had a relative that was a World War II Navy veteran.
Here we go. Yes.
He used to boast how he saved 300 plus sailors from dying from an excruciating death.
How did he do that, Dave?
He shot the cook.
I actually thought I was just answering a benign question. So guys, here's what the moral of the story is. There's no such thing as just a question or a comment. It's all a set up. Got it now. Got it now. So look, it's almost Sunday. Well, no, it's not.
It's almost Sunday. Okay, well, that would mean, what do we have this week? We have Covenant Sunday.
Covenant Sunday, yay.
Everyone should be getting a letter from Father Joe and their covenant card.
Yep.
And if you haven't been to St. Paul's before, we have the neatest stewardship campaign, Covenant Sunday, of any church I've ever been in. If you look closely at your covenant card that you were sent, available in the back of the church, there's no place on it for your name.
Nope.
So it's just between you anonymously and God. So we do put the cards without names on the altar. No one looks at them. They are taken downstairs and they are burned up. And St. Paul's really has no idea what our income is. We have a very unique budget. We try to budget expenses within reason, but we have no idea what the income is. So I think as Father Joe put it several years ago, he said, we trust Jesus to pay for what he orders.
Amen. Amen. And on the card, you know, in looking at stewardship, it's not just about tithe, but it's about your talent, it's about your time, and it's about your treasure, and it's about your testimony, right? So all of those things are currency in God's kingdom, if you will. You know, and it was funny. It reminds me of a little story. So, you know,
Sure it does.
You know, I was sitting there and at the 10:30, and you know, we're teaching Grady about, you know, about putting things in the offering plate as it comes by, right? So one day I had given him some coins, and he kind of like had his hand kind of hovering over the plate, but he didn't really want to let go of them, right? So I'm thinking, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? So I kind of whispered in his ear, quick, Grady, drop it in the plate. It's tainted. And he's like, dropped in the plate. So then he looks at me, he goes like, oh my gosh. He goes, Mimi, why was that money tainted? Was it dirty? And she goes, don't say a word. Let me finish it. She goes, oh no, dear, it's not really dirty. It's taint yours, taint mine. It's God's.
We'll allow that one.
Allow that one.
Okay.
That's all I have. I went for the storytelling strategy today.
Thanks, Jim Miller.
No, that was on me. That was.
That was on your own, huh? Very good. Okay.
Really, that was all me. Now I'm right now going to gyms, so I'm not going to need a backup.
So I've got a little story for you too.
Oh,
A man died and went to heaven.
yeah.
Met at the pearly gates by St. Peter, who leads the men down the golden streets. They go by all these stately homes and beautiful mansions until they come to the end of the street where they stop in front of a little rundown cabin. The man asked St. Peter, why did he get the hut when there are so many mansions that he could live in? Peter replied, well, I did the best with the money you sent us.
Oh. That's a stop and thinker. Oh my God.
How theologically sound that is, probably.
I'm not thinking it is, so no. I'm not thinking it is.
And we didn't have, since we did All Saints readings last week, we kind of the gospel reading about the widow's mite, which was last week. So.
Okay. Oh, I didn't get a chance to look at the readings for today, for Sunday. What are they?
Well, there's some great readings. The one from 1 Samuel, and actually our psalm, is about Hannah.
Oh.
And she goes to the temple, and she's kind of accused of being drunk. But she's praying for to have a son, and she gives her son up, and it turns out to be Samuel, the great prophet.
Yeah.
And the psalm is actually also from the book of 1 Samuel. It's the Song of Hannah, which is very beautiful. I guess we would call it a canticle in the church. So we did that this week. The epistle reading is from Hebrews, and that's about making a covenant and the priests and their offerings in the temple. And then the gospel is about the apostles looking at the large stones and the temple, and Jesus saying, do you see these great buildings? Not one stone will be left upon another. So, boy, I don't know where you got to tie this all into Covenant Sunday.
Yeah.
That's our sermon title.
What are you thinking?
Well, going back to the story of Hannah, I don't think Joe will spend a lot of time on this, but I'm kind of reminded of there's that great Christmas song, Mary, Did You Know?
So, I love that.
It's a beautiful hymn. Oh, whatever. I'm thinking with the story of Hannah, you could almost go, Hannah, did you know? Write that along. So that would be a possible title.
Yep.
When you talk about covenants, in Covenant Sunday, maybe something along the line of, let's make a deal.
Okay.
Right? How about, so now we got to go on to covenant, making a covenant, crafting a covenant.
Just between you and God,
Call a lawyer.
Something like that.
I mean, covenants are serious business, so.
They are. They are.
If you agree to something, you better know what you're agreeing to.
Oh, do you know what you're, there might be something in there, because I love, he always just, Father Joe always just talks about it's between you and God, you and God, you and God, I mean, he might stay in that space somewhere. Do you know, do you know where Solomon's temple is?
Where it is?
Yeah.
Oh, it would be in Jerusalem. That would be the temple, right?
I thought it was on the side of his head. Jim for the win. That's a W right there. Off guard. See how I snuck it in? That's a W. Thanks, Jim Miller. Boom. Process that, Mr. G.
See, Jim needs to go on a trip with us to Israel. Then you wouldn't ask a question like that because he can answer it intelligently.
No need to bring the support people into this mud. Oh, that was score. Game over. Pen drop.
All right. Let's see. So what else is going on here? We have...
I don't much. I am just basking in my win right here.
It's early. And we
Okay.
play a full game, a full 9 innings here. So
All right. I'm still in.
okay, so looking at the calendar, we do have a food drive next week.
We do? Yep.
And we do need to be aware on the Thanksgiving gift cards. They are due by Monday, I believe.
Believe it is Monday, yeah.
We want them all back
Yep.
because they need to get those gift cards into the hands of people so they can go out and buy their Thanksgiving food.
Yep.
And just as quickly as we finish doing that, we're going to transition into our Christmas giving tree.
Is the giving tree up? Did I see it
Giving
up?
tree will be up.
Yep.
That will be in the back of the church. It used to be we would take tags off the tree and you would buy specific gifts like gloves or a sweater or a kind of toy or something. This year they're just doing gift cards, but they will be to, stores like Walmart or Kohl's or whatever, various stores. And then each person in a family, I think we're sponsoring 4 families.
Family. Yep.
Everyone will get at least 2 gift cards to which they will be able to buy their own gifts. And they will be kind of matched up with people and their specific needs. And those need to be back by December 5th. So these things are going to happen quickly, but you will see that tree up there soon. And you may have noticed in the back of the church, last Sunday, we have our coat rack up there.
Oh, yeah. I did see that.
And we do our annual take a hanger, fill a hanger. So if you have any coats that you no longer need, bring them for our coat drive, and we will get them on the back of someone that needs it.
I love how you put that. Yeah, that's so good. So good. And then the Thanksgiving tree's still back there, right? The blessing tree?
Yes, the blessings tree is there. That will be up through Thanksgiving, and that is filling up nicely.
Yeah, it is. Don't forget.
Colorful with all its leaves on there.
Yep. And it's also really wonderful. Like I spent a few minutes, I think it's Wednesday, as I was filling out. I had more than one sticky note, so I put a couple of them up there because there was so much to be grateful for that God's done. And it's so heartwarming to see people's what they're grateful for. It's just so beautiful. They're all over the place. So it's really nice. Fills you up.
Starting in another week, starting on November 21st, Ann Bacon is going to be doing the adult Sunday class again. This time he has a program called The Journey, Walking the Road to Bethlehem.
Whoa!
Which is kind of, it's a video, and it kind of explains like what things were like back then, and it will kind of rewrite what a typical person's view of what the nativity was about.
Oh my gosh, that sounds amazing.
That'll be a fun class.
That will, and that's between services, right? 9:30.
It's at during the illuminating scriptures time period. So that'll be like 5 weeks starting on the 21st.
Wow, that sounds wonderful.
Leading
Really.
up to Christmas.
Yeah, very different too.
So I was really excited. I don't know if you noticed who the saint of the day is today.
I did not.
I thought he was going to be a patron saint of travel because he's called Martin of Tours. Turns out Tours is a place in France. But we'll claim them anyways, you know.
Will you? Will you really? Oh my gosh, that's awesome. So for that whole ministry of all your travels, what is the name of your official name of it? Traveling through the Bible?
Bible Journeys.
Bible Journeys or something, yeah. So now the Bible Journey Ministry is claiming the
Martin of Tours is our
Martin of Tours as your patron saint. Okay.
So we do have a couple trips coming up. Actually, some of us are going on a trip in December to Israel.
So exciting.
And then we have a Holy Land trip in March that leaves March 17th.
Yep.
And we can play around with the deposit deadline, but we do kind of need to know who is going on that trip in early December. I'll be contacting
Oh, okay.
people that have already talked to us. We have a few spaces left on the trip to Germany, the Oberammergau trip. That deadline, even though the brochure says it is passed, it's actually, I think, January 31st.
Okay. And what is the timing of that trip? The Germany trip?
That trip is like September 26th into early October, and we set it up that way so we get the day of Oktoberfest. And then there is a second Holy Land trip that Tara is sponsoring through St. George's. It goes in June, around June 16th, and that's primarily for a lot of people that can't get off in March, but it'll be a little warmer then. But if you're a teacher or you're a student in school, you're in school vacation time then, so it's a little better.
Yeah. That's great. Wow, that's a lot of travel. Look at that. Wow, that's going to feel good, isn't it? It's going to feel really good. Yeah. Excellent. It was St. Martin of Tours. I'm sorry. I just want to make sure I get that right.
St. Martin of Tours.
St. Martin of Tours. I just wanted to make sure that St. Martin of Tours, we beseech thee.
And Martin of Tours is interesting because today is Veterans Day, and he was a soldier.
Oh.
He started out as a soldier, and he kind of gave up that career and became a follower, and then ended up becoming a bishop. So he has a very interesting story, but they always kind of tie him into Veterans Day, even though he died way back in 937 or something like that. I
feel like something's coming there. Is something coming there? No, is that it? That was just a factoid? Huh. Okay. All right, interesting. Who else? Anybody else waiting for the other shoe to drop? It's coming. Okay, go ahead. Just talking to my people.
Okay. Well, so it is Veterans Day. So why don't dogs like to attend Veterans Day parades?
There's something about going to the vet? No. What?
Too many vets around.
W! 2 W's. Not that I'm keeping track.
All right.
I'm getting a hang of this. How long have we been doing this?
I don't know. This is about our 30th show, by the way.
Oh my God.
We're getting up there. We'll have to have a big unscripted cake when next April rolls around, or whenever it was we started this nonsense.
You were not kidding. We need a guest pretty soon.
Yeah, we'll start introducing some different segments.
Yeah, we need some new fresh segments. Wow, I had 2 W's. Anybody else keeping track out there? Come on.
Are we keeping track of W's now?
Yeah.
All right, so I'll give you, this is not really a veteran story, it's more of a military story, but
Okay.
so the Air Force is, they're trying to recruit some people. So the recruiter's out and he sees 2 brothers that are twins, And he says, do you guys have any qualifications to help us in the Air Force? And the one guy says, I'm a pilot. And the recruiter says, well, that's great. He talks to his aide. He says, sign this guy up, help him do all the paperwork, get him in. So he goes to the other brother. He says, what do you do? He says, I chop wood. Chop wood. Young man, we need people that can help the Air Force. He says, what can you do to help us? He says, well, I chop wood. He says, young man, you're not listening to me. This is 2021. We need people that can help us fly planes. The young man says, well, you hired my brother. Of course we did. He's a pilot. The young man rolls his eyes and says, so what? I have to chop it before he can pilot.
That was good. I was wondering where it was going. That's good. That was good. W over there, wherever you are. That was good. I like that one.
You want to redeem yourself, or?
Nah, I'm good. I'm leaving right where it is. I'm leaving it on a high note.
All right, so I'll give you one more story that ties into covenant.
Okay. Go.
To giving. And we'll be kind of vague here. So we'll just say a local charity.
Okay.
They're doing their giving campaign. And they notice there's a successful businessman in town who earns well over $500,000 a year, but he never gives any money to charity. So they go and they call on him, and they said, wouldn't you want to give back to your community some way? The businessman thinks about it for a minute. He said, well, first of all, if you did your research would show that my mother is dying from a long illness, has medical bills that are several times her annual income. So the charity rep says, okay. Then the businessman continues. Secondly, you would know that my brother is a disabled veteran. He's blind, confined to a wheelchair. So the charity person kind of stammers out and apologizes. And the businessman goes, and thirdly, you would know that my sister's husband died in a traffic accident, leaving her penniless with 3 children. So now the aid worker's like, boy, I had no idea. So on a roll, the businessman says, and I didn't give money to any of them, so why would I give it to you?
Oh my God. What's the lesson here? Oh gosh. All right, that was a good story. Give generously. Give what God tells you to, do what he wants. Oh, don't be that guy. Oh my gosh. Well, another week in the books here.
So tell you what, let's redeem ourselves here a little bit. This is a story from Joe Bernardo, and we can tie this into giving.
Okay.
So when we were over in Israel, one of the things you learn very quickly is that, it's a very hot, it's a very warm, it's not that lush, but water is very important there.
Yep.
So the main water source in Israel is the Jordan River, which comes down out of Mount Hermon. There's 3 really sources of fresh water. It comes down the Jordan River from the north, and it goes into the Sea of Galilee. The Sea of Galilee is fresh water. At the southern end of the Sea of Galilee, the Jordan River continues on, goes down to the Dead Sea. So the point is, we need to be like the Sea of Galilee. Take in fresh water, and you give up of yourself so you can take in more fresh water. Or you can just be like the Dead Sea, which is just take in, take in, take in. And because it doesn't give up of itself, it becomes toxic. So, Father Joe, if you need a preachable story, there's one for you.
Right there. Yep. That's it. We get it all.
That's no joke.
That's no joke. That's no
Okay.
joke. Covenant Sunday is very special.
Everyone have a blessed week, and we will see you on Sunday.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Remember, we are unscripted.
Totally.
So what's your new strategy?
My new strategy is I'm not going to serve up the softballs to you, which is just, hey, why do you think the blah, 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 blah? Because you know all those punny answers. So I'm not going to do that. So
So you're just going to wave a white flag and surrender?
Nope. No white flag here. I'm going down trying. So, I'm going to try a different humorous technique.
Okay. Well, we'll see how that works out.
Yes, we will. Right now, Jim Miller is going, oh, this is off script, Mayor. This is off script.
Well, that's why it's called Unscripted.
I know. I thought it was perfect. And as Jim always says, good luck and God bless.